Imagine a community where all the community members are selfish. They don't care what it looks like. They don't care about their fellow neighbors. They don't care about anything. Sounds like a pretty horrible place to live, am I right? One way to help, there is one way to help in a situation like this, and that is community service. Several problems can arise in any community, any area, city, or town, whatever you want to think, anywhere yet you all may live. And there are several solutions to these problems, and that would be community service. So I hope to persuade the 10% of you that don't partake in community service to go show some initiative and get out and make your community better. My first main point is to point out some of the problems that can arise within communities. So the first would be pollution. Pollution can happen anywhere. We're humans, we create a lot of waste, and some of us aren't as responsible with our waste as we should be. So a buildup of pollution on the side of the road, the lake, or anywhere else can build up over time. And this can be really harmful to the environment and just the way that the community looks. The environment can have drastic consequences because the waste can be toxic and can kill wildlife that's around it. And we know what happens when wildlife is endangered, and bad things generally come back to us when we don't protect wilderness. So, second problem is going to be a lack of help for the elderly. Imagine going down the street and you see an older person trying to mow their lawn or take in their groceries. They're not able to do it as easily as or fluidly as we could. It's a sad sight to think about because it's sad to see someone struggling like that. So that is a big problem. And also what can happen, as a study showed by the Corporation for National and Community Service Association, the study showed that older people feel a sense of community when people come volunteer for them and they want to donate their time for them. Excuse me. They can feel almost excommunicated when people don't and they leave them out in the open to dry and defend for themselves. On to my third point, which would be a lack of educational resources. This can happen in smaller towns that are poor and generally maybe just don't believe in education as much as they should. So imagine that there's a library and it's empty. That's the kind of problem I'm talking about. There's a lack of books, journals, and articles, anything like that. And this can lead to a lot of other problems with people growing up not being well-rounded, not knowing how to take care of the environment around them, and not knowing how to take care of themselves, and not even knowing about the outside world, and just being behind some of these other big cities that have these educational resources. And fourth and finally, the last problem, which is going to be homelessness. Now, this is a problem that you're probably not going to be able to fix by yourself because it is really complex and has a lot of politics tied up into it. But there are several things that you can do to help homelessness and help these individual people. And this problem can also bring on several different subsequent problems, such as the area not being as nice. The area might look bad to outsiders. And just in general, that these are individual people. These are actual people living on the streets, and that should make you want to help them out to get them off the streets. So, on my next main point is going to be the solutions to some of these problems. So, with every problem comes a solution, I think. So, for the first one, pollution. Small cleanups are a good way to go get all the trash up. You can go get a plastic bag and a pickup stick, go get the trash off of the ground. Maybe do this on a weekend whenever the weather permits. It's really not that hard, really easy, and not time consuming. This can have drastic effects on the environment by getting rid of all the pollutants that are there. It can bring the wildlife back and get it back to its natural, healthy state. So the second solution to the elderly problem is going to it's simple. Just go offer your services to someone. Offer to cut their lawn, offer to bring in their groceries, offer to just be a good human being, to be a good citizen and help them out. It can help give you a purpose, and it can help give the elderly people purpose because they're going to think, oh, these people want to help me, they care about me, and so on. It can get them out make their health better, make them get out into the community and become better citizens. The third solution, which is to the educational problem, is just to donate books. Donate or buy or give used books to a library, a school, or an individual. Any of that will help. You can get them to get reading, get better at reading, and doing really good stuff and educating these people. Another thing that you could do is join like a Big Brother organization where you can help people out, help out younger kids who may not know their way yet, and just help them become better citizens. Fourth and finally is the homeless solution. This one is also relatively simple, but it doesn't solve the entire homelessness. It can just help get individual people off the streets. So that would be donating clothes and other necessities like canned foods, blankets, stuff like that to homeless organizations. There are already organizations for all of these problems that you can go to. You don't have to do it yourself, other than the elderly, which has both. But back to the homeless thing. So you can donate necessities, or you can donate some of your time to a homeless shelter or a food kitchen that can help these people get their lives back on track, get off the streets. So on to my third main point. You may be wondering, why would this matter to you? Why would this help you? Why would this help your community as well? So for the community part, it makes your community look better, just in general, which can attract people. It can attract just better things in general. You want the wilderness to come back. You want your town to be as good as it can be. It can help, doing all these things can help the environment, which is really good, because when we hurt the environment tends to hurt back. We want more animals in the area. We need to live in balance with the environment. Lastly, the economy can be better. This ties into the attraction part, where people come in, they want to buy, they want to spend, boosting your local economy. Now you may be wondering, how can this help you? Well, it can look good on resumes. Of course, that's a somewhat selfish reason, but these all are. They exist, and it sucks, but it does. Clemson's website, for instance, says that you need some community service, and that will make you look like a better candidate for admissions. It can also help with connections with others, and it can make you a better person, because you will be out there, you have seen all this stuff. You'll be ready for more situations like this in the future. So, in conclusion, I hope that this speaks to the 10% of you, so that you can get out, do some community service, and help your community. There are several organizations that you can join and participate in that will help out. The internet is also a really great place to find some organizations. Volunteermatch.org is a great place to start. You can find places in your hometown. It was shocking to me that very few people heard of some community service offers in their town. The internet is a great way to find some places. So I hope this is also not an all-encompassing list. There are other things outside of the elderly, pollution, educational resources, and homelessness. So I hope you get out there and do some community service.